Inside jokes are nothing new in pop culture, but when they happen in video games, it can lead to a particularly satisfying instance of, I understood that reference, for some of us. Not everyone will see what's so fascinating though, so here are 15 of the best inside jokes in video games that only gamers will understand. Red Dead Redemption 2, The Donkey Lady. Red Dead Redemption had all manner of odd glitches, but they were so elaborate that one could have thought them Easter eggs. One was the Donkey Lady, who had the body of a woman but the face of a donkey, obviously. Even if it was a glitch, Rockstar included her in Red Dead Redemption 2. Unfortunately, it would seem that the world wasn't kind to her existence, tying her to a horse mill until her death at Cholla Spring in Two Crows. Diablo 3, WHIMSYSHIRE. WHIMSYSHIRE is a special realm that appears in Diablo 3 and contains all manner of cutesy things like unicorns, teddy bears, and cupcakes. However, it's actually an in-joke from Blizzard to all those that mock Diablo 3's art style as being too cartoony upon the initial reveal. Turning that up to 11, and of course adding all manner of horror when the unicorns are butchered, is a clever way to lampoon the haters. The Legend of Zelda, Cuckoos. In The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, frequently attacking a cuckoo will summon a vengeful horde of them upon Link. Not only have the cuckoos carried over into future releases, but they've also appeared in other games. In Guild Wars 2, attacking a regular chicken at the farm near the stronghold of Ebon Hawk causes 3 angry chickens to hunt down the player, and they're very tough to kill. In Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, you can use a cuckoo as an item and toss it at your opponent, causing the swarm to annihilate them. Resident Evil 2, Welcome Leon Sign. Resident Evil 2 wasn't the perfect game when it released in 1998. After all, the Raccoon City Police Department's sign for Leon was misspelled, with welcome having 2 L's. This was seemingly fixed in the recent remake. However, if you look closely, the second L can actually be found on an officer's desk. So there was the intention to spell the word wrong before doom struck. But more things change, as they say. Duke Nukem 3D, One Doomed Space Marine. Everyone who worked at id Software to bring Wolfenstein and then Doom to life has ties with each other, so it's perhaps no surprise that the Doom Marine makes an appearance in 3D Realms' Duke Nukem 3D, as a corpse. He's found in a hidden part of the death row level, and Duke will comment, "That's one doomed space marine," because Doom. Get it? Even cooler though is that there's a chain gun cannon behind the corpse, which is also a weapon in Doom. Street Fighter, Dan Hibiki. Capcom seems to have a nice relationship with every developer these days, but in the past, it was at loggerheads with SNK. Apparently, SNK poached Capcom's programmers after Street Fighter II released. Fatal Fury and King of Fighters proceeded to steal the spotlight, which Capcom was apparently not too happy with. To mock SNK, Capcom introduced Dan in Street Fighter Alpha. Dan's looks and moves were inspired by SNK's art of fighting characters, but he was an utter weakling through and through. Dan became beloved among fans though, and would remain a staple of Street Fighter for years to come. BioWare games, go for the eyes. Never mess with the Minsk, the righteous berserker warrior of Reshimen, or Boo, his so-called miniature giant space hamster. During battle, Minsk will eagerly tell his hamster, "Go for the eyes, Boo, go for the eyes," which BioWare liked enough to include in a number of its future games. Tali will tell her drone in Mass Effect 2 and 3 to "Go for the eyes, Chick-Ticka." Mario, Princess Peach kidnapped again. Princess Peach and constantly being kidnapped were an enormous meme long before memes were a thing. Nintendo is fairly aware of this. A toad tells you earnestly that, "Mario, Princess Peach has been kidnapped by Bowser. No one could have predicted this," before comically adding, "I know this is highly unusual, but can you help rescue her?" It gets even more hilarious in Super Mario Odyssey when Peach is fed up with both Bowser and Mario in the end and walks out on them to explore the world. Metal Gear Solid series, Hideo Kojima. Hideo Kojima's name has been emblazoned on many a Metal Gear title's box art, not including his name popping up in the opening credits, so it was only a matter of time before he appeared in-game, and eventually Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes and The Phantom Pain. The latter also had Kojima's name appearing at the beginning of each chapter, just in case you forgot who directed it. There's also the Deja Vu mission in Ground Zeroes, where players have to erase game logos with Kojima's name on them, presumably hinting at the fallout that he would have with Konami. Bungie games, the number 7. Ever since the days of Marathon, Bungie has had an unhealthy obsession with the number 7. Master Chief's ID in Halo is Spartan 117. In the Halo universe, there are a total of 7 Halo rings. Its official fan club is called the Seventh Column. Even Destiny isn't safe from this. On top of having a medal called Seventh Column for Crucible, the Vault of Glass raid requires killing 7 oracles during the last encounter. STARCRAFT, Warcraft in space. Warcraft in space? That's hardly doing StarCraft justice, but lo and behold, fans referred to it as such during the strategy title's alpha. Blizzard, known for lampooning such things, eventually added some lines to Artanis in-game. Click on the Protoss warrior enough and he'll say, "This is not Warcraft in space," along with, "What do I look like?" An orc, referencing one of the key races from Warcraft.
What do I look like? An orc? This is not Warcraft in space.
Doom 2, John Romero's Head. The Icon of Sin is the final boss of Doom 2, occupying an entire wall with its demonic face. However, if you activate the no-clip code and travel past the wall, you'll find something interesting. There's a small section that contains the head of John Romero, one of Doom's creators, on a spike. Shooting Romero's head enough will eventually kill the Icon of Sin, because that's the boss's main hitbox. Foreshadowing Romero's problems within the company, or just a clever joke? We'll let you decide. Gears of War series. Carmines mostly die. For some reason, no matter which Gears of War game you play, a Carmine will always die. Well, except for Gears of War 3, where the joke that time was Clayton Carmine surviving. When Gears of War 4 arrived, it was back to the status quo. Even more interesting is that Clayton Carmine reappears in Gears 5, but it was his niece, Elizabeth, who would be felled instead. Left 4 Dead vs. Dead Rising. Valve's Left 4 Dead and Capcom's Dead Rising had an interesting competition among themselves throughout the years. It started with Dead Rising introducing an achievement called Zombie Genocider, where you had to kill 53,594 zombies. Left 4 Dead would arrive later and featured the achievement Zombie Genocideist to kill 53,594 zombies, plus one more for a total of 53,595. Not to be outdone, Dead Rising 2 brought in the Z Genocider 2 Genocide Harder achievement for killing 53,596 zombies. Though Left 4 Dead didn't receive a sequel after Dead Rising 2's launch, Capcom continued to add one more zombie kill for each subsequent sequel's achievement. Red Dead Redemption 2, John Can't Swim. One of the key annoyances from Red Dead Redemption is John Marston's inability to swim. Red Dead Redemption 2 addresses that immediately with protagonist Arthur Morgan capable of swimming. As it turns out though, John, who is also in the game, still cannot swim. At one point, if John is near a tub of water in camp, Arthur will remark, "You must be nervous being this close to the water," before laughing it off and saying, "Just looking out for you."
Good morning, Arthur. You must be nervous, being this close to the water.
Oh, don't you start.
I'm just looking out for you.
And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from Gaming Bolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.